Hello. The jet stream is working overtime this week to send us all manner of weather systems from the west. Here's Wednesday's weather system, an area of low pressure which is deepening as it approaches the UK, and this swathe of very strong winds to the south of it, along with some active weather fronts, the most active of which will be this cold front as it moves through. And you can see the colours here corresponding to the key on the right. Wind gusts 55 to 65 miles an hour, especially around these Irish Sea coasts. That's where the strongest winds will be as we start off Wednesday afternoon, with the risk of disruption as a result of those winds and some very large waves as well pushing into the southwest. Now, accompanying those strong winds will be a bout of heavy rainfall. Along the cold front in particular, this rain will be really lively as it pushes through, with the winds really ramping up as the heavy rain arrives into western parts of England, West Wales, clearing through Scotland, and then later in the afternoon the winds picking up across the east of Scotland as well. Now, ahead of the wet and windy weather, although it's turning breezy and cloudy, East Anglia in the southeast tending to stay dry through the afternoon. And behind the wet and windy weather, we've got more showers moving through, and the winds picking up once again later in the day across northwest Scotland. So wherever you are, it's going to be a lively afternoon. Temperatures still above average, but I guess not feeling the case with the wet and windy weather, and fresher air pushing in behind the cold front across northwestern areas. Now, here's the cold front as it pushes through the rest of England as well as Wales during Wednesday evening. Very lively winds potentially across the south coast. That's something we'll keep an eye on. And then heavy rain pushes into East Anglia in the southeast during the early hours of Thursday, where it stalls, although the winds begin to ease. Now, for Scotland, Northern Ireland, as well as northwest England, blustery showers move through, and again the risk of gales around the coast of western Scotland. 60-70 mile per hour wind gusts once more could cause disruption here. Some clear spells in between the wind and the rain, and where we get some shelter from the wind. Temperatures dipping into the mid or even low single figures across parts of northern UK, but staying in the double figures where we've got the wet and breezy conditions in the southeast. Now, the rain perhaps easing for a time in the southeast as we begin Thursday, but another pulse of wet weather could well spread in across southeastern parts. That'll be on and off, and there's the risk of 30, perhaps 40 millimetres in the far southeast, and that on top of course, the wet and showery weather that we've had recently could cause some issues during Thursday. Either way, brighter skies move in from the west, but with further showers. There'll be showers through the day, I think, in western areas, but this cluster of very heavy downpours could arrive later Thursday into southwestern shores, and again along the south coast. That could prove quite tricky. 13 or 14 in the south, 10 or 11 in the north, so a slightly colder day, but I guess with the brighter skies feeling a bit more pleasant if you're out of the brisk breeze. And then, well, it could be quite a noisy night, I think, along southern counties of England, South Wales, with these showers pushing through. Hail and thunder always a possibility, especially around the south coast, where the showers will be responding to warm seas. And, of course, that creates the extra energy involved in these thunderstorms as they develop. Much more online and on social media, so stay up to date because there's a lot of weather happening at the moment.